India, particularly Kerala, still not widely integrated into mainstream medical training. Palliative care in India is often limited to cancer and end of life care. Challenging this perception, Dr. Eric Borgs, veteran cardiologist and chairman of the King George V Memorial Trust, says palliative care is about living well, not just dying peacefully. And in an interview with Hemant Kumar Roth, edited excerpts are here for you. What inspired you to conceptualize and set up Sukun Nilaya, especially focusing on non cancer palliative care? Sukun Nilaya was born from moments I could not forget, people with advanced non cancer illness, suffering quietly because care beyond cure was limited or absent. I met families who were exhausted, frightened, and unsure where to turn once treatment options ended. Their physical, emotional, and social pain was real, yet largely invisible. So, these experiences compelled me to think of Sukun Nilaya as a space offering not only palliative care but also comprehensive supportive care and rehabilitation. What gaps existed in the healthcare system that led to dedicated palliative care centers for non cancer patients? The biggest gap I witnessed was that patients with serious non cancer illnesses were falling through the cracks of the healthcare system. Once curative treatment reached its limits, there was very little focus on symptom relief, emotional support, rehabilitation, or guidance for families. Care was fragmented, hospital centric, and often overwhelming for patients already struggling with loss of function and dignity. Our approach focuses on comfort, continuity, family involvement, and helping patients live as fully and meaningfully as possible despite serious illness. What misconceptions exist around palliative care in India? One of the biggest misconceptions in India is that palliative care means nothing more can be done. In reality, a great deal can be done through supportive care, rehabilitation, and compassionate guidance for both patients and their families. Palliative care is about living well, not just dying peacefully. Since Sukun Nilaya became operational in 2021, what measurable outcomes have reinforced the importance of this model? Many patients who were completely bedbound at admission have regained mobility, independence in daily activities, and confidence. Equally important are the stories of families who move from fear and exhaustion to understanding and preparedness. We actively track clinical indicators such as pain and symptom scores, functional status, and rehabilitation outcomes, along with caregiver stress and satisfaction. These measures consistently show improvements in quality of life for patients and caregivers. What are the biggest operational and systemic challenges you have encountered in running the center? Workforce shortage, especially trained doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation professionals, remain a major issue as palliative care is still not widely integrated into mainstream medical training. Sustainable funding is another challenge since non cancer palliative care often receives less visibility and support. We are trying to address these gaps through focused in house training, multidisciplinary teamwork, partnerships with hospitals and academic institutions, and strong caregiver education programs. Now, more about this itself. As they say, palliative care improves quality of life, provides relief from pain, fatigue, anxiety, depression, insomnia. Emotional and physiological support for patients and families, provides clear communication and decision making support, and helps the patients understand treatment choices and align care with their values. Coordination of care across doctors, hospitals, and home based services. Support for caregivers, including counseling and respite. So, here is something more about this. Hemant Kumar wrote at Bhubaneswar tells us more about palliative care, structured and holistic support. One fine morning, Advesh, a migrant laborer living in Mumbai, woke up to a terrifying reality as his body from the neck down did not respond. His roommates rushed him to hospital and informed his family. After a battery of tests, he was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome (GBS), a rare autoimmune condition in which the body's immune system attacks the nerves, often leading to rapid muscle weakness and paralysis. Weeks of intensive care helped stabilize him, but the illness left him quadriplegic. As he was unable to move his arms or legs, his battle for life did not end with discharge from the hospital. It was at Sukun Nilaya Palliative Care Center in Mumbai that Advesh's path took a decisive turn from despair to recovery. A multidisciplinary team comprising doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, occupational and speech therapists, physiologists, social workers, counselors, and trained volunteers reassessed his condition and crafted a personalized care plan. Nearly 6 weeks into rehabilitation, Adresh surprised even his caregivers, said Dr. Vijayashree Patil, Director Therapeutic, Academics and Research at Sukun Nilaya. He regained enough strength to walk independently and manage his daily work. He was not only discharged cheerful, but also encouraged and motivated fellow patients navigating life altering illnesses, Dr. Patil added. As the center provided treatment and care for free, his wife and brother, who stayed with him round the clock, did not have to worry about basic sustenance. It was like a rebirth, as I did not expect that I would be able to stand and walk again. Forget about palliative care, we did not have money to meet the treatment expenses. Thanks to the center, I am back in action, Advish beamed. The center was established in 2021 during the COVID 19 pandemic with the support of the Cipla Foundation and run by King George V Memorial Trust. Healing beyond hospital walls. Palliative care is a specialized medical care focused on improving quality of life for people with living with serious chronic or life limiting illnesses. It works alongside curative treatment and aims at relieving all types of sufferings, be it physical, emotional, social, or spiritual. Whether the cause of suffering is cardiovascular disease, cancer, major organ failure, drug resistant tuberculosis, severe burns, end stage chronic illness, acute trauma, extreme birth prematurity, or extreme frailty of old age, palliative care is needed at all levels. It improves the quality of care of life patients who are facing problems associated with life threatening illnesses and relative suffering through the early identification, correct assessment, and treatment of pain and other problems. So, who needs palliative care? Anyone with a serious illness like cancer, advanced heart, lung, liver, or kidney disease, stroke, and neurological conditions, degenerative diseases like ALS, Parkinson's, dementia, severe trauma, or congenital conditions. Palliative care is about living, is about care. This is about living for as long as possible with dignity, comfort, and support for both patients and families. Care can be provided at any stage of illness, from diagnosis onwards, and along with treatments aimed at cure or control. So, Dr. Eric Boggs, chairman of King George V. Memorial Trust, explained that Sukun Nilaya addresses total pain, not just physical symptoms, but also psychological distress, social isolation, financial hardship, and caregiver burnout. Our mission is to restore dignity, relieve suffering, and help patients achieve the best possible quality of life free of cost, irrespective of economic background, he said. Although there are around 526 functional palliative care centers, translating to roughly 4 centers for every 10 million people. These facilities are mostly for cancer patients. As per WHO estimate, the majority of adults in need of palliative care have chronic diseases such as cardiovascular diseases 38.5%, cancer 34%, chronic respiratory diseases 10.3%, AIDS 5.3%, and diabetes 4.3%. Many other conditions that require palliative care include kidney failure, chronic liver disease, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, rheumatoid arthritis, neurological disease, dementia, and congenital anomalies. Palliative care is often misunderstood as end of life care for cancer patients alone. It is not a fact. Non cancer patients with chronic neurological, cardiac, respiratory, and degenerative illnesses suffer for years, sometimes decades. They and their families need structured and holistic support, says Dr. Borges, a cardiologist with over 4 decades of experience.